this video, I will give my response to some Call Me Johnny's review of this game. If you haven't watched the previous parts of this episode, then I strongly advise you to do so. He says, and I quote, "As soon as we head into Tropical Coast, the first issue with the level design slowly reveals its ugly self. The levels start getting too fucking long. And as soon as we head into Frozen Factory, levels start getting really fucking long. Levels become tiring. You'll be getting hand cramps. You'll become easily agitated." Unquote. A proper blind run of this stage should take little less than 10 minutes. A speed run of this stage should take about 3 minutes with a good amount of mastery. To put this into perspective, a good chunk of Sonic stages in Adventure 2 take between 1 and 2 minutes with greater skill than I have at this game. Unleashed daytime stages take about 2 minutes each with a level of skill somewhat above my skill level at this game. Also, I don't usually get hand cramps playing these stages, but I did during the recording. The reason for my hand cramps is that I hold my 3DS weirdly to record with my camera, which is not the case when I play normally, so I don't see reason to believe this stage is too long. Quote, "And that is where the second issue with the level design will begin to take its course. The shit the game requires you to do in order to complete certain levels, not just certain tasks, but also the repetition of it all. It forces you to stop all of the damn time to flick switches, kill a certain amount of enemies, or deal with awkward controls for certain power-ups, just when you want the level to end." Unquote. This stage doesn't seem to be repetitive, because there are barely, if any, tedious tasks in this stage that can be recycled to make the stage repetitive. This stage doesn't have more than a couple switches, doesn't have more than a couple of enemy pits, and heavily revolves around classic Sonic platforming, with additions such as the falling blocks and the rails. The only power-ups I can come up with are the Laser Wisp and in some sense rails, both of which are rather easy to control compared with other power-ups. Neither uses gyro, and both are rather intuitive in their use. Given all that, I think one is unlikely to wish for the end of this level. He says, and I quote, "Focus lies on marathon levels, an insane amount of monotony, too many instances of trial and error." Unquote. I've already addressed the marathon and monotony points. As for trial and error, I can only think of any instances in this stage where one would die for reasons such as being too rash or not being in the moment at all. You're free to point out any instance that does fall under trial and error. Quote, "This isn't even including the numerous do-or-die situations the second half of the game is played with. Tons of areas where using parkour over bottomless pits is mandatory. A shitload of areas where wisp powers are mandatory in order to complete levels or die trying." Unquote. This stage is part of the second half of the game, so I don't see why making the parkour compulsory is questionable, since the parkour is one of the main aspects of this game. Additionally, this stage has a good number of sections that have safer lower paths in case one fails in the upper paths. Regarding wisps, this stage doesn't have any wisps in the blind run, and only has the laser in later runs, so this stage is safe in that aspect. Here ends this video. The next video you watch I think should be the video where I give my response to the criticism of both Commander1456 and IGN. If you found this video informative and watchworthy, I'd really appreciate you liking and sharing this video.